A warm welcome to everyone live on the session. I am Kaviya K, and I work with VET Institute of Arts and Science as an assistant professor of English. In this session, we'll be discussing everything about Google Meet in a way that it will be easy for even beginners to catch up with. And towards the end, we'll go with some extensions, that is add-ons, for advanced users to also catch up with. We'll start with discussing what a G Suite is, and then we'll move on to Google Meet. We'll be discussing the A to Z of Google Meet, how to set up and schedule a meeting, and a few add-ons that can be used to extend the features that are available in Google Meet. I have tested these add-ons and it worked fine with me, and so it should with you. And towards the end of the session, we'll be having a Q&A where you can post and raise your questions. Let's start with discussing what a G Suite is. G Suite is a collection of enterprise-based products like Gmail, Drive, Docs, Sheets, and so on, offered by Google via a monthly subscription platform to help streamline your business. So, normally, all the accounts that we have associated with Google will be at the rate of gmail.com. So all these accounts are called as personal accounts. But then a few of you might have accounts that have the emails as at the rate of the name of your organization.com. So all these, if they are associated with signing in along with Gmail, it means they are a part of G Suite. So your organization or institution has subscribed to G Suite and has got all the facilities offered by them to be accessed by the organization. So what do you get access to? A lot of products that are offered by Google or what you get access to. And all these are available to us on a monthly priced basis. So you get in 3 different plans: basic, business, or enterprise. The prices vary, and also these suites are available for education and non-governmental organization. And when it comes to Google Meet, as of now, only a G Suite account holder will be able to host a meeting, will be able to create and schedule a meeting. All the other personal account users will only be able to join a meeting that has been created by a G Suite user. So Google has announced of late that it will make G Suite facility of Google Meet be accessible to personal account users as well. Well, we're not sure of when the date comes, but we hope it comes soon. And not all G Suite users have a limit of having 250 participants in a meeting, but because of COVID-19 pandemic going around, Google, maybe as a part of CSR, has announced that until 2020 September, Meet will be available to all G Suite users and they can all have up to 250 participants at the maximum. So as a G Suite user, you have access, that is extended access to Gmail, Google Meet. So Google Meet was what was back then called as Hangouts. Then you have Slides, Calendar, Meet, like I said before, Sites, Currents. If they have Classroom for schools, then it's Currents for industries and business professionals. Docs, AppScript, Google Chat, Sheets, Forms, Keep is your to-do list, and Drive. So a personal account user has around 15 GB of cloud space, but a G Suite account user, depending on their plan, will have even unlimited cloud space. So now let's start with the A to Z of Google Meet. We'll be exploring the basic features that are available to you in Google Meet. I'll be doing the whole session in my personal computer. So you can do the same in your computer your mobile phone as well. I'll be showing you how it looks in a mobile screen and how you do it in a mobile screen. But I always advise you to do it from your personal computer because the features that you get while accessing it in your desktop is more than what you get in your mobile phone. Now throughout this session, I'll be calling to something as a 9 dots. That's what I've highlighted in this screen. It's a cluster of 9 dots that appear on the top right in between images and the account picture of your Google home page. Now this is where you click to get the drop down of all the products that are offered by Google to you as a personal account user or as a G Suite user, both. Now let's get started with the session. Now where can you find this? Well, the first place you can look is in the 9 dots at the top right. That's here. Click on those. Meet is one of the options right there. Alternatively, you can type in meet.google.com. Now this is my homepage for Google Meet, and there are two options you can see here. It's either to join or start a meeting. Now if you need to join a meeting, you need to have a URL and a code. But let's look at how to start a meeting first. Let's now create a meeting. That's also starting a meeting. It asks you to create a name for the meeting. Let me have it as testing. Click on continue. Now, when you have a G Suite account, all of the accounts associated with the suite is related to the same institution. So if you have a name for the meeting, those people who belong to the same suite can just type in the meeting's nickname and join. But those who do not belong to the institution suite will not be able to join with a nickname. They'll need to have the meeting code or the meeting link. Defaultly, when this page opens up, you will have the camera turned on, but now I have my camera turned off in the settings of the system. I'll just turn it on. See, now it's turned on. I'll just turn it off now. You can turn off your camera if you don't want anybody to see you and have a visual of you in the meeting. And it's also commonly preferred that you have to mute your mic when you join a meeting so that you won't disturb anybody's presentation if you join in between, or in general that you don't want to disturb anybody unless you are given a chance to speak. So I'm going to turn my mic off too. Now you can directly join the meeting since you've already created the meeting, but the link to share will be only shown after you join the meeting. What other people do instead of directly joining the meeting is by mistake click on present. You have to click on present only when you have a presentation to do and that you want to start off with the presentation itself. Once you click on present, you will see a prompt which will ask you to choose what you want to present. Now this is my Chrome tab, my browser tab. Do I want to present any particular tab? I'll have to click and then share. If I have to share the entire screen, whatever is there on my screen, or a particular application alone. So if I click on the share option, it starts to share automatically. Now I can also choose to share my audio as well. So you usually want to share your audio when you do a presentation, right? So you just leave it on and then click on share. So it automatically joins you into a meeting. See, here's my meeting, it's going on. I can see that I'm presenting and there's an option showing me to stop my presentation and to stop presentation of my audio. I'll just click on stop. I can click on stop either here or here. Either way, you're out of your presentation now. You can end the call or leave the meeting by clicking on the leave call option at the bottom middle. I'm done now with presentation before joining. Now let's again start off with the same testing. I'm going to ensure my camera is turned off and my mic is turned off. And now I'm going to join in the meeting. Usually when I'm the person to create the meeting, I'll be the only person in the meeting. Like I said, As soon as you join the meeting after creating it, there will be a pop-up showing you the link which you can copy to send others so that they might join using the same link. You can see this is the link for the meeting. Usually if you share this, people can just click on this link and join. So if they have a mobile phone and they want to join using the link in a mobile phone, they have to have the app Google Meet installed in the first place. But if they do it from the PC or a laptop, they don't have to have the app called Google Meet. It's defaultly there in your suite. And now, as I said, personal accounts also have this option. So they don't at all have to have the Meet app. They can just click on the link and join. Otherwise, you can join using the audio call option by using this mobile number. They just have to dial this mobile number in their dial pad and join. This is not preferred in most cases in our scenarios. Or you can join by using this PIN if it asks for a PIN. Otherwise, what most people do is a common mistake. They just type this in the box where you have to type for joining the meeting. I'll just show you that. I'm going to type in the Google Meets homepage address, join or start a meeting. Now here it asks for a code of the meeting. So what most people do is type this, but you don't have to type this. You have to copy the last 9 alphabets in the link. Sorry, the last 10 alphabets and paste it over here to join the meeting. Okay, so I can either copy the information right from here and then open my mail and send it to each person I want to, or Google makes it easy for us. Click add people. It comes up with a few suggestions of frequently contacted persons. You can type in their email address or their name. Let me just type my own email address. I'm going to send the mail now. Let's just check how a mail looks. This is my sweet mail. Here we have the mail that I am inviting to join a video meeting that's happening right now. I can just click on join meeting and join, or I can copy this last 9 alphabet that's showing over here. Sorry, the last 10 alphabets that's showing over here, or I can click on the link over here, or I can copy this number and dial it in my dial pad and join the audio call of the meeting. Let's go back. So now that you have a visual of how the meeting that is going on currently's invitation looks, let's now see what are the other options you have in the screen before we go on to see how to schedule a meeting. Here on the top right, you have the list of people who were there in your presentation or in your meeting. It just goes down as you have so many people in the meeting. You just have to scroll to see how many people are there. The number here is the number of people in the meeting. So if you are presenting your screen, then your audio will be one account and your video will be one account. So your viewers will have to find out which account you're using to present and they'll have to pin that account. Now let me show you how to pin an account of a user. I am going to copy the last 10 digits of this meeting code into my mobile phone, and the account that I am using in my mobile phone is a non-G Suite account. So I do not have the option to create a meeting. I can only join a meeting. I am entering the code as in the last 10 digits, the 10 alphabets. I am using an account in my mobile which is not associated with the association of the creator. I will have to ask to join. Once somebody is trying to enter into your meeting, you will get a pop-up like this, that somebody outside the institution is trying to join in. Then you have to click in admit. So once I am admitted, I will be let into the meeting. Every time, whenever you send out a link to anybody, and if they are trying to sign into the meeting using an account that is not associated to your institution's suite, then they'll have to wait until you let them in. So now see how to pin the user. Click on people. So I want to pin the user by the name Kaviya Kadiresan. I have to click on the name and then click on pin to screen. Once I pin the user, the visual of this user will never disappear from my screen. Even if somebody else is trying to present, this person who I have pinned, this person's visual will never leave my screen. I can unpin and then pin somebody else also. The same applies in my mobile too. I can pin Kaviya K by clicking on the pin option. So now as a host, I have the option to mute somebody but not unmute somebody. So here I'm going to unmute my mic, and then I'm going to show you how to mute my other account from the host account. See, I'm now able to mute, but I will not be able to unmute them. Only the sole owner of the account will be able to unmute themselves. So as a host, you will be able to mute as many accounts as you can, but not unmute. You also have the option to remove a person from the meeting. And once you remove them, this is what your screen will show for you. Chat is where you have the option to type your messages when a meeting is going on instead of turning your mic on and disturbing the presentation. You can just type on. See, I have a doubt. You can just interrupt in between very decently like that. Now you can also add people from the people tab by again inviting people. Click on anywhere else in the screen, it hides. Now again it's the same, the people tab, this is the chat tab, and this is your own account. Now you have pinned yourself when you click on your own account. Come to the bottom. This is the name of the meeting that was created. This is the name of the meeting again. You have all the information regarding the data of the meeting. You can click on this to copy and send it with people. You can share it again from here. And this is where the attachments of your Google Calendar shows up if you have attached something in your mail itself. Here you have the option to again unmute yourself in case you have to ask some question or if you have to answer something. Unmute. This is where you again turn on your camera. Now as I have turned on my camera by default, my video is not showing. I'm just going to turn on now. That's my visual. I'm turning it off now. Now, if you find it difficult to catch up with what the person is speaking, you can click on the turn on captions. So now let's see the next option, that is captions. Now, if you're not able to catch up with the speed of the speaker or if the audio quality of the speaker is not very good, then you can turn on the captions option. So if it's the speaker's audio that you want captions for, there is no need for you to unmute your speaker because it's only the speaker's audio that you want captions for. So for that, you can just turn on the captions. Once there is a speaker speaking from the other side, then the captions will automatically be generated and it will be visible on your screen. Be it your mobile phone, tab or your laptop or PC, it will be visible on your screen. But if it is your captions that you want to see when you are presenting something, then you have to turn the mic on. So now you can see that the captions are turned on and it is getting typed on the screen as and when I speak the words out. When I leave a small gap in between, there is a full stop and then a new sentence starts with self-capitalization. This is how captions work. So let me now turn off the captions. I'm also turning off my mic. So now let's see how you can present a screen from your laptop. Click on the present screen option that is next to the captions option. You have three options in presenting a screen. One is presenting your entire screen, presenting a window, or presenting a particular tab of your Chrome browser. So when you click on entire screen, then only one option shows up in the pop-up. That is everything that you do in your laptop. If you click on share, it will automatically start screening. And how to find out if it's screening is when a small pop-up of this sort shows in your screen. Now if this is disturbing your view, like it's hiding everything that is there behind, I can click on hide. So I can again see it by clicking on the Chrome icon and then click on stop sharing. So this is one way of stopping a screen share. Now what's the other way? Now let me try it with another option and stop this sharing of the screen. Now I am clicking on the browser which I want to share. Now it's sharing. Now instead of using this option, I am going to stop my presentation from the browser itself by clicking stop presenting. See, now I've stopped presenting. Now if you're not sure if you're presenting or not, how do you find it out? Click on your entire screen, present it. You may now open another tab and do something, try to play a video or something, and then you come back to your browser where you have presented. Now you will see that there is a message in the right bottom of your screen that you are presenting. Click on that and then stop presenting. So this is another way to stop a presentation that you are doing. Let's now come to the next option, where we have more options. The first of it being record a meeting. So not all G Suite users have this option enabled. If you are a G Suite user but you do not see this option of record a meeting, then just try to contact the administrator of your suite and ask them to enable this option for you. Only they will be able to do it. Once they enable this option for you, you will then be able to start recording meetings. Click on it. Now a message will pop up telling you that all the participants in the meeting have to accept your request of recording the meeting. Even if one person is not accepting that request, then you will not be able to record the meeting. So after everybody submits their response, you will get a list of people who haven't accepted your request. So you will have the option to remove them from the meeting so that you can continue recording the session. So it's best advised that you start recording the session before any participant joins in, so that you will not have the need to request anybody to accept to record the meeting. So it's like if you have a meeting at 10 a.m., then sign in at 9:55 a.m. and enable the option to record the meeting. Also, when you are recording a meeting, the chat that is being typed right from the moment that the record is started will also be recorded. After you end the recording, all these will be sent to your mail. So now I'm going to click accept. My recording will start soon. Now that I have nobody in the meeting except for myself, you just see it just takes me like around 10 seconds to start the recording. Now the recording is on. I can stop the recording from here. Click stop recording. So all this will be sent to my email ID with which I am hosting this meeting as an email. So in this email, I will have the entire video of whatever I recorded and the transcript of the chat that was done during the time of recording. In case you forget to stop recording the meeting by clicking on the option that I earlier showed over here, it's not a problem. It's not a problem if you just leave the call by clicking the leave call option or close the tab without stopping the recording. You will get all of this in your email within half an hour after the session is over or after the recording is over. And along with it, the chat transcript will also be sent to you. So that is the screen recording option for you. The next one is changing the layout. So by default, this is the layout that you get. You are in the spotlight and whatever you present will be here. And if there are any participants, their faces will be shown in tiles over the right side. So this is a visual for you of how it looks by default. Now let's see the options that we have in the layout. The sidebar, which is almost like the next is spotlight, where only you are there in the screen and no other person's face is shown. And the last one is tiled. So you will have around 20 people's faces on the screen. When their camera is on, you will be able to see their faces, and if they have their camera turned off, you will be seeing their profile picture all in tiles. Around 20 people at a time can be seen with this layout. Next, you again have captions option in the more options column. The next is settings. So settings is for audio and video quality. Now you can test the quality of your speakers and check if your microphone is turned on or off if you're not able to rectify it over here in the bottom. Now coming to the video, you can first choose which camera you want to use for the meeting. You can also check if your camera is turned on or off. Next, you have two kinds of resolutions. One is the resolution with which you send the video, and one is the resolution with which the user will receive the video. So if you want to send the resolution with a higher resolution, the maximum that Meet offers you is 720 pixels. So click on 720 pixels. And the maximum with which you can send a user is 720 pixels. So you can send in 4 ways. One is 720, one is 360, the other one is 360, which one video at a time, and the last one is not at all for video, it's only for audio. So no role here, so we don't need to access this option right now. Let's set it for 720 pixels so that you can send it in a very high quality. Click done to get it saved. The next option is to use a phone for audio. So as I said earlier, you can join by using a phone for an audio, or you can mute your audio over here and use your phone to act as an audio device. So you don't have to try anything with Call Me. You only have two country codes here. Since you don't have your country, you will have to use dial-in, which will take you to the dial-in box, which is the one that defaultly opened up for us. Here also you only have a few countries where our country, that's India, is not a part of. So whatever number shows here as soon as you open, you just copy this number or you just see this number and dial in your phone and get connected. And if it is asking for a PIN code, then you can type in this PIN code and get connected over a phone for an audio. Then the other three options at the bottom are for any help. If you want to report a problem or if you want to report any vulgarity or sensitive issue that's going on in the group, then you can use these two options. The third one is the help option. So if you want a typed out, printed or printable copy of a tutorial, then you have to click on help. It will take you to the Google Meets tutorial page where you have a detailed written tutorial of every issue that you would ever come across. So these are the features that are available to the host in the screen. And if you are just a person joining in the meeting, then you don't have to worry. Just ensure that your mic is muted and your camera is off if you don't want your visual to be seen by others. Now let me show the same thing with a mobile phone on how you do this in a mobile phone. After that, we will jump on using different add-ons in the Chrome that can be only be used in a laptop or a computer and not on a mobile phone.
You will be able to see the screen of my mobile phone. I've already opened the Meet app. I've turned my camera off and my mic off. Now if I want to create a new meeting, I can click New Meeting and schedule a meeting, and everything is the same. I can share by clicking on the share option. I can chat over here while I can still have a visual of everything that's happening in the screen. And here when I click on the information icon, I will be able to see any attachments or be able to see the link, pin and the dial number. When I tap on the presentation area, I will be able to see the captions option over here. I will be able to see the more options here, and in the mobile phone you will have the option to switch your front camera with the back camera. Again, turn on the captions. So if you just click on present screen, it will ask you to start a presentation. Once you click to start a presentation, the entire screen of your mobile will be screened to all the participants. In case if you have any sensitive content open or if you are typing something, everything will be visible to the participants. So it's highly requested that you never turn on your screen unless you have a presentation to do for which you are already prepared. The next option is to report a problem, and help is the next option after that. It's the same as in the personal computer. So the other option you have over here is your option to select the output from which you want to hear the audio. You have your phone speaker, then you have the mobile call speaker which you use when you receive a call, and then you have an option to completely turn off any audio that comes from the meeting. So these are the options that you get for Google Meet in a mobile phone. Let's try to close this meeting. We'll end this meeting and we can click on meeting code and join a meeting using a code by using the last 10 alphabets of a meeting link or by using a nickname. So quite some time back we created a meeting link by having the meeting's name as testing, and since that meeting was created in the same organization's suite that I am using right now, I can use the same nickname and join a meeting if it's still available. So it's loading. So it means that this meeting is available. Now I've joined this meeting. I can present a screen if I want to, or I cannot if I don't choose to. Next, when you swipe up your screen, you will be able to see all the meetings that you have previously attended and the meetings that are coming up soon. You can directly join by clicking on present so that your screen will present right from the beginning, or you can click on join or rejoin depending on the status of the meeting. So that's meeting from that's Google Meet from your mobile phone. Now let's start to see how to schedule a meeting and share a scheduled meetings link. It's highly advised that you always share a scheduled meetings link and not create a new meeting link and then share it.
Now that I have my inbox open, let me just show you how a recording mail will look like. So in this mail, I have an attachment of the recording video, but I don't have a chat transcription attachment here because there was no chat involved during the time of the recording. So if you have chat going on when you are recording the meeting, then that will also be attached in the mail. So this is how your mail will present you the attachment of the video recording. So I was telling you about scheduling a meeting. Click on the 9 dots again. Open your calendar. Once your calendar loads, click on the date you want to schedule the meeting. I'm going to click on create. I'm going to add the title as webinar. It's for 6th of May and the time for which I want to schedule this is 3:30 a.m. till 4:30, some random time, not a problem for testing. Okay, so in order to know how an email invitation will look like for a scheduled meeting, I'll type in my own email ID. So that I can show you how an email invitation will look like. Now, it is supposed to be a Google Meet conference scheduling. So you just have to click on this option. Just click on it. It will automatically create a link for a upcoming meeting. Click on the drop down option. You will see a detailed view of the meeting ID along with the phone number and the PIN number. Let's collapse it. You don't need to add a location because it's going to be virtual. If you want to, you can add a description. Let me just type that it is compulsory to attend. Now I can just directly save it or click on more options and schedule when I want to send a notification. Next, I can choose the color for my notification that will be showing in the calendar. Now I want it in yellow color. I'm choosing yellow. Now here when it comes to notification, this normal notification is like the notification you receive when you get a WhatsApp message that just pops up randomly in your screen once you get some incoming message. You can schedule how many minutes or days or weeks or hours before you want this to show. You can cancel it by clicking on the X mark, or you can schedule an email notification also, and this can be scheduled for minutes, hours or days and weeks before the meeting. So I'm going to schedule it for 17 minutes before the meeting. Now if I have to give my participants the power of modifying the event, like how I have the power of modifying everything, I can tick this box. I don't want them to, so I'm unticking it. Now I don't want my participants to invite more participants using the link in the mail itself, so I'm going to untick invite others also. Now I want to keep my list of participants confidential, so I'm going to untick the see guest lists. So my participant won't be able to see the other participants in the event. Now I have to click on save. Once I click on save, a time slot will be created in my calendar telling that during this time from 3:30 to 4:30 there is a webinar. That's the name of the event. And once I click on it, I will have the option to edit, delete or email the guests. So I'm just sending some random message to myself. So if you send a message or an email, or if you make any change after sending out the initial email, then you have a pop-up coming up after saving the secondary changes to intimate your participants of the newly mended changes. You have to click send if you want them to be aware of it, which we probably should do. Then I'm just going to show how the notification looks like. See, I've received a notification from the calendar. In the subject, you see the name of the event, the day, date and time of the event and who has invited me. And the same is there in the body also. On the bottom shows the message that I have received from the host. If I click on more details, it will take me to the calendar. Now I can directly click on this link close my audio and video off and join the meeting. Or I can copy the code from here and join the meeting, or use this audio call number from my mobile and join by using this PIN number to enter. Now, once you created a meeting by scheduling it before itself, you copy this email ID and then you send it to your participants by mail, which the calendar itself sends you, or if you want to send it by WhatsApp or some other kind of a social media platform or even the SMS app, you can copy the link from here and send it. Other option to copy the link is just click on the webinar. You can copy from here, or right when you created itself, you were able to see a drop down and you can copy directly from here and send. So there is no chance that your meeting ID will get confused for the participants. Now I'll be discussing a few add-ons so that you can extend the features of Google Meet. I've tested these and these work well for me, so I hope these will work well for you too. You can find the link of these add-ons in the description box below. So the first extension that we'll be exploring is the Google Meet Grid View, extensions or otherwise the add-ons. So Google Meet Grid View comes handy when you have to view all the participants including yourself on the screen. And if you want to have a grid view, if you'd like to see only the participants with video and many more features on. So first, let us add this extension to Chrome. Click on Add Extension. Once it gets added to your computer, you'll see a pop-up and you'll see that there's a new icon over here in your search bar. That's near your search bar. Go back to the meeting. You have to refresh it to bring it into effect. I'll have to rejoin into the meeting. And now, once you're joined, you'll see that there's a new option on top. We have 4 options here. Only show participants with video, highlight speakers, include yourself in the grid, enable grid view by default, enable screen capture mode. So we already know how to capture the screen, that's by recording a call. So we're not going to delve into that. The first one, only show participants with video. So I want to see all the participants. At least I want to see the pictures of their profile. So I'm not going to tick that. Highlight speakers. So when there are multiple speakers, the one who is currently then speaking will then be highlighted. We'll delve into that. Include yourself in the grid. Yes, I want to see myself included in the grid. So I'm going to tick that. Enable grid view by default. Yes, I want to have a grid view whenever it comes to a meeting. Now this is disabled. I'm going to click on this to enable it. So you see, now I can also see myself. There's another new option in the tab, that is to hide or view a participant. So now let me show how it works with a participant's speaking highlighted on. I would like to show you how highlight speaker option works. So when you have around 250 participants in the meeting and you want to find out which speaker is speaking and you want to get their profile highlighted, that is when this option comes in handy for you. I'm going to unmute one of my accounts and speak a little to show you how that works. It will echo, so don't mind about that. So
So
I'm
I'm
speaking with
speaking
the
with the
account with
account
the
with the
profile
profile
picture
picture
K.
K.
You should have noticed that the profile with which I spoke got highlighted. I'm going to try the same with another account by unmuting it. Now the account over here should get highlighted. Let's see if it works. Does it
Does it
work?
work?
I asked if it works, and yes, it works. So this is how you can use this extension for your advantage. Now the second extension that we'll be exploring is called the Nod Reactions for Google Meet. So if you have conducted a class by Adobe Connect or Zoom, you would have noticed that there's an option to raise hand for any doubts and to clap or show any kind of emotions, but that is not available in Google Meet. So in order to have something of that sort, let's add this extension to our browser. Now I'd like to tell you that for everybody in the meeting, for all the participants to be able to view the reactions and to be able to post their own reactions, they should all install this extension. It's not enough if you alone install it that your participants will be able to use it on their side too. But if the administrator is able to extend this to all the accounts associated with your institution, then it could be possible. Now we can see that there's a new extension logo that's been added to my browser. I'll go back to one of my meetings. I don't have to refresh, it's already there. But in order to bring the extension into the meeting, I'll have to refresh it. I'm going to turn my mic and camera off and I'm going to join the meeting. Now, once you join, in the top left side, you will be able to see a list of emojis. You can also download more emojis and you can control its setting by choosing what color you want your emojis to be. You want to have notifications for new emojis, you want to update them, and so on. So if I click on the emoji of celebration, it just pops up over here near my account's name. I can keep adding. Now I can raise my hand. I can disapprove. I can clap. I can do anything. So now if an emoji of raising your hands up shows up, you have to click on it to close it. So if one of your participants raised their hand to show their doubt, let me show that from another account. So I'm now going to use this account. I'm going to raise my hands. Now I see that this person has raised their hands. It won't disappear on its own. I'll have to click on this to make it disappear because it's like you're addressing to some person's doubt. So this is your second extension. So this is not a very necessary extension, but this could make your session quite fun and colorful. The next extension that we'll be checking now is called the Meet Attendance. I'm going to install this. Once it's installed, you can see that it's colorless. Once you have a meeting going on, it will turn green. That's when you know that this extension is active. So I'm going to schedule a meeting now. Okay, I have a already pre-scheduled meeting. I'm going to join in the meeting. When you click on the people tab, now we will be able to see something extra. That is the tab to check how many are present. Once you click on that tab option, you will be redirected to a spreadsheet. It is in this spreadsheet that you will get a list of how many people are present and when they are present to the session. Now, after connecting the meeting with 2 more accounts, I'm going to click on the spreadsheet icon to see how many participants have logged into the session at a particular given time. So this is the list here. On top I have the timestamp. Next, followed by it is the link for the meeting, and then the list of participants in the order that they joined. Now, when you have to take attendance for 2 sessions, that is like for the first 20 minutes you have one attendance and for the second 20 you have an attendance. In that case, you will just have to click on this button, disable and enable it, and then click back on this icon. Next extension that I'd like to bring to your notice is called Google Meet Plus. This Google Meet Plus is an extension that integrates 2 different extensions for us. One is the nod emoticon extension and the other one is the whiteboard extension. So you have both of these integrated in this extension itself along with a few more options. So I have already refreshed my browser and the top left part shows me the options that come along with this extension. The first one is a list of all the participants in the meeting. The second one is the whiteboard. Once I click on it, my participant gets a notification that I have launched the whiteboard. I like to tell you here that your student must also be using a personal computer while you should also be using a personal computer, and that this extension should be installed in the browser of your student as well. So far, of all the apps that, all the extensions that we have discussed, the Emoticon, Whiteboard and the Google Meet Plus extensions should be installed in the systems of both the users, that is the host and the participant as well. So now I'll have to click on the whiteboard as a student. Now if I as a teacher scribble or write something on the board, the student will be able to see it. And the glitch in this part is that the student will be able to clear whatever the teacher has written as well. Apart from that, there's nothing wrong along in this option. The next one is the timer. After that comes the option to mute or unmute yourself in the meeting. The next one is to show if you're active or if you're away from the meeting, or you can set a custom status. Just type something in random. And how do you see that? Click on the visibility icon and click it along with the name of the person. You get that message. Then you have an option to click on the emojis. I'll just click on some random emoji and you can see that once I close the whiteboard, I get the notification that the host has posted something related to the emoji. Then I also have an option to post some random quote which pops up for the participant. So these are a few extensions that I wanted to bring to your notice. Of these extensions, a few require installation from both the participant as well as the host, and a few only requires installation from the host side. And it is also important to note here that if you want to have an extension installed, you have to do the meeting from your laptop or your computer. It doesn't work with a tab, a mobile, or any other system. And now we come to the end of the session. A very great thanks for everyone who were live on the session. I'd like to reiterate a few points. Never ever unmute your mic during a session. It disturbs the flow of the speaker as well as the clarity of listening for the listeners and other participants. Never present your screen unless you are supposed to make a presentation. So if somebody who doesn't know how to pin a screen is managing and you start to present, then they'll get lost. They will not be able to find it out, like how to pin the presenter again. It'll be quite hectic for the organizer to help them out if they are not able to find it easily. Also, whenever you join a webinar, ensure that your surrounding is very calm and quiet. You sit in a very quiet place if you have to speak, so that no surrounding noises disturb the webinar through your mic. Keep your mobile phones charged, have your internet pack full. So these are just the very basic things which you already know because we've all attended a lot of webinars as of now. A great thanks again. I hope these were useful to you and that you will be able to use this in your classrooms to bring out your desired results.